Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time watching, then welcome. Today I'm doing another look using my Jeffree Star Bloodlust palette, and I'm going to be using the teal kind of shade today, that Vile Serpent shade. It's one that really stood out to me a lot when I was, waiting for the palette, or when I first opened the palette. It's definitely a color that, speaks to me. But I wasn't really sure how I was going to use it because it is like a bluey green shade in a palette full of like purple shades, and so it's taken me a while to get around to using this shade, but I'm super excited. It's like a really gorgeous like bluey greeny teal shade. But yeah, anyway, let's just get on into the tutorial because I really want to just get going with it. Okay, so eyebrows, white eyeshadow base on the eyelid. The eyeshadow base that I'm using is my P.Louise base in the shade Rumor Zero, which obviously is the white one. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with a fluffy blending brush. This is a smaller blending brush. I do this every time, but just in case this is your first video and you don't know, this is what it looks like next to a regular blending brush. And that is just so that I can keep the color contained in a smaller area, but keeping it nice and blended out at the same time. So I'm taking that and I'm going into the shade here called Vile Serpent, and I'm applying this to my crease. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dab and swirl the color on, so that is packing it on but also keeping the edges nice and soft, and bringing this across the crease and out into a winged shape in the outer corner of the eye, and just getting that really packed on but slightly blended as well. Okay, now that we've got the base for the crease down, I'm going to go in with this shade here called Your Majesty, and I'm popping that on a fluffy blending brush. So I'm applying that to the edges of the greeny blue, and I'm swirling that around to blend those two colors together and just trying to make the edges of that nice and diffused. And I'm also going to go back in using the Vile Serpent shade and reapply that and go back and forth between the two shades until I'm happy with the blend. Okay, so as it turns out, that Vile Serpent shade is impossibly hard to blend out, so I did my best. It took me a very long time, but as you can kind of see here, you can see like that line there, and that's what I've been trying to blend out this entire time. Usually I tend to not notice it so much once I cut the crease, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that because I've been spending so much time on this blending and it's not really getting better, so I think I'm just going to have to kind of roll with it. So the next thing I'm going to do is take some micellar water and a flat rounded concealer brush, and I'm going to remove the product that's on my eyelids by carving the crease out using the micellar water. It's going to give us a nice clean base for us to apply the eyeshadow base to, and that is going to make sure that the eyeshadow base stays as white as possible so that we get the best pigment on top of that. And once I've done that, I'm just going to remove the product using a little cotton tip. Okay, now to carve out the crease, I'm going in with another flat rounded concealer brush and my P.Louise base, and I'm just going to do a full cut crease across the entire lid, and I'm going to make sure to be applying this in a patching and dabbing motions so that the color doesn't mix with the base and make it not white, because we want it to be white. Okay, so we've got the crease carved out, and now it's time to add some color to it. So I'm going to do three colors. So I'm going to use this shade here called Vile Serpent, this shade here called Sworn Enemy, and this shade here called Monarchy. And so I'm going to apply Vile Serpent to the outer third first, then I'm going to blend that into Sworn Enemy, and then on the lid that is blending into Monarchy. And so I'm using the same small blending brush to apply Vile Serpent. Then for the next two shades, I'm applying those using all over shader brushes. Okay, so that is the top of the eye complete, and now we're going to smoke out the lower lash line. So I'm taking the P.Louise base and applying that to the under eye area first, And then I'm going to apply Vile Serpent, blending that out using your Majesty, and then going back in with Vile Serpent again just to get that nice and vibrant. Alright, so that is the look pretty much complete. We just have a few final little touches, but what I'm going to do first is just go and do my face makeup, and then I'll come back and finish off the look for you guys. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a highlight shade. So I want to use a gold, so I'm going to take my Lime Crime Opals highlight, and obviously this shade here called Gold. And I'm going to apply that using a combination of brushes. So I'm taking this large fluffy highlighting brush for my cheekbones and my face, and this small pencil brush for around my eyes. Next I'm just going to apply a nude lipstick, so I'm taking my favourite, which is my Lime Crime Lip Glaze. This is in the shade Cash. Alright, now the last thing left to do is just to apply mascara and lashes. So the lashes that I'm going to be using are my XO Beauty Faux Mink lashes. These are in the style Exotic. I'm going to pop these on off camera, and then I'll be back to show you guys the completed look. Okay, so here we have the completed look with lashes. I am obsessed with this colour. Even though it's like really hard to blend, I'm loving this Vile Serpent colour. I actually really want to do like an all over like smoky eye using just this blue, because I think it's super effective and like dark and moody but still like have a little bit of colour. I'm so stoked that I finally got around to using this shade as well, because I have been thinking about it like every night before I go to sleep. I'm like thinking in my head like how can I use this colour, and so yeah, I'm glad I finally got to use it. Now I'm excited to move on to the next colours as well. I really want to use that sparkly black because I want to see how the sparkles, you know, kind of react. That's definitely not the right word, but yeah. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. If you did, then please thumbs up and subscribe, and tick that little bell button so you can get notified every time I post a new video. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.